Was today a Comic Con and nobody told me? Because we are getting a ton of comic book news today. First of all, I want to take a look at the trailer for, I believe it's pronounced Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Apologies if I went to three different sites to try to figure out, to make sure that I pronounced that correctly, and all three had a different pronunciation. Maybe they pronounced it in the trailer. I hope they do, because I hate pronouncing names incorrectly. Anyway, uh, but Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Going to watch the trailer for that. Afterward, we're going to talk about what else. There's the news about who's directing Spider-Verse, the Spider-Verse sequel, and then on top of that, we have confirmation Michael Keaton is going to be in the next Flash movie, or I don't know why I said next. I mean, the Flash movie. Not like he has five other movies, but and some of you might think, well, we already need, but it was kind of on the fence, and I do want to shed a little bit of light on that. There's a smidge of info that a lot of outlets are not including that I want to address. So a lot to cover. I'm going to try to condense this all down into a somewhat brief video. I don't want it to be like 30 minutes because you guys, I know you don't have time for that. So anyway, let's get started. We're going to jump right in, watch the teaser trailer for Marvel's Shang-Chi and the Legend and the Ten Rings.
I gave you 10 years to live your life. And where did that get you? You walked in my shadow. I trained you
Oh, wow.
to the most dangerous people in the world. Couldn't kill you. Son, it's time for you to take your place. By
The
my
Mandarin,
side.
cool.
That's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Great visuals.
Run. You really are.
Oh,
Who are you?
oh, yeah. Man. Whoa.
We make a good team.
Yeah, well, just take my money now. Gee. I mean, I'd watch anything, well, almost anything regarding Marvel, but that just, come on, that looks incredible. Initial thoughts, I don't know really anything about this character. I know more about the villain that he's up against than the hero in this case, because, the Mandarin made kind of a sort of a debut in Iron Man 3. Of course, that Ben Kingsley's Mandarin turned out not to be the Mandarin. Um, and I think I've wondered if Ben Kingsley might make a cameo in this. I don't know, maybe not. They may not have room for all that. But if you remember, Marvel did a short several years ago called "All Hail the King," in which the mysterious Mandarin did not appreciate Ben Kingsley's character, Trevor, impersonating him, and so this real Mandarin sent his I don't know, army or what have you, not army, but his minions or whatever, to come and capture Ben Kingsley's Mandarin, take him somewhere. It would be interesting. It would be, I think, and again, I don't know what Marvel has in store. I think it'd be cool if the intro to this Mandarin, the real Mandarin, is seeing him address Ben Kingsley's Mandarin, like put him in his place, in which we see, okay, this guy means business. But then again, So many people like Trevor, that fake Mandarin. I don't know. Seeing him get killed, I don't know. That might not go over well either. It would definitely show the new Mandarin means business, but I don't know. Fans might not like seeing Trevor get killed. You'll notice the cinematography it looks great. Some awesome visuals. Bill Pope is doing the cinematography here. They really have got an A-list cinematographer for this movie. If that name doesn't ring a bell, he is the guy who did the cinematography for the Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, which is interesting because, if you're keeping up with everything Marvel, you have Sam Raimi doing Doctor Strange, that sequel, and the Multiverse of Madness. And then it sounds like the next Spider-Man film's kind of... I hear that Sam Raimi's kind of having some input on that as well behind the scenes. And then here's the Spider-Man cinematographer doing the cinematography for Shang-Chi. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's really cool. The guy, but that's just one thing. He's also done the Matrix movies. I'm looking at his credits right here. Alita, so many great films. So yeah, he definitely, as you saw in that little tease alone, he's definitely bringing a good visual style. Whenever the next time someone mentions Captain America: Civil War as an example of Marvel not having a good visual style, I think a lot of people are going to start bringing up Shang-Chi. They were bringing up Infinity War and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and now I think they might start bringing up this movie as kind of a counterpoint to that argument that Marvel doesn't do good visual or doesn't have good visuals. Aquafina, I've seen on Twitter a lot of people not thrilled. Oh, okay, they need comic relief, so they're bringing in Aquafina. It's a safe choice. She's a good actress, though. I wasn't always on board, but I've seen her in enough where I do like her style of comedy, and loved her recently in Raya in Raya and the Last Dragon. She was great as Sisu. It looks like she's doing a great job as, I think, the character Katie. So that looks good to me, at least. Maybe not to some of you, but to me, I think it works. Yeah, so Shang-Chi, I cannot wait to see this. I'm hearing a lot of people ask, where's the Eternals trailer? Well, first we got to get through Black Widow, which, so many thoughts there. I feel like that movie is so past its expiration date. Even though, and I'm not talking about the quality of Black Widow. I'm talking about, number one, it already feels like a movie that should have come out. If you're going to do a Black Widow movie, it seems like something that should have come out in Phase 1 or Phase 2. But even as it is now, it feels like a movie that they should have already just put on Disney Plus, let it have its release. I feel like most people are ready to move on to Shang-Chi, to something new. Either this or the Eternals. That Eternals trailer, Marvel's not going to be juggling. They have enough TV shows, and then they have these two movies, Black Widow and Shang-Chi. They're not going to start promoting the Eternals just yet, or they dropped it's cleaner, right? So it'll be a little while before they start promoting Eternals. So let's move on. We have so much to cover. The next thing, the Spider-Verse movie, the sequel, the Spider-Man Spider-Verse sequel, the directors were announced today. Kind of surprised me a little. I thought that at least one of the three directors who did the first movie would return. Not the case. Some of you might remember the trio that directed the first movie was Bob, I think it's pronounced Paraschetti, Peter Ramsey, and Rodney Rotham. They did a A-plus job. I felt like Peter Ramsey might return, but no, the directors for the Spider-Verse sequel, I'm pulling it up, they are going to be Joaquim Dos Santos, Oscar nominee Kemp Powers. Kemp Powers actually worked on Pixar's Soul. He's an outstanding talent. One Night in Miami. He also, I believe he wrote it, didn't he? I think that... I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure. And then Justin K. Thompson. No, I don't know a whole lot about two of those. Again, Kemp Powers, I'm already a huge fan of. He's really, in the past year, it seems like, well, people already knew him for One Night in Miami, but it seems like in the movie world, he's recently become kind of this A-lister, so to speak. Joaquim Dos Santos, he directed, or let's see. He has a lot of comic book credits. I don't see what else he has. What else has he directed? I'm looking here again. Sometimes I don't know if the camera's seeing my laptop, so I'm always afraid that it looks like I'm just staring off into space here. But no, he worked on The Legend of Korra, so right there that works in his favor. Um, yeah, a lot of videos. Okay, he's done shorts for DC characters like Green Arrow, Jonah Hex. He worked on Avatar. And he worked on. Oh, okay. So it says, according to IMDb, his first directing credits were actually Justice League Unlimited. So right out of the gate, the guy was doing superhero media. Directing a superhero TV show. And then who else? Justin K Thompson. Let's see what he's done. Pulling him up here. I don't on IMDb. I don't see any director credits. I'm sure he's had leadership roles and what have you, but he has worked on a ton of things. Let's see, what would be? He worked on a lot of Disney shows like Buzz Lightyear, Star Command, Disney's the Tarzan TV series, the Hercules TV series. Oh, and he worked on Star Wars Clone Wars, so I know that'll get some attention there. Uh, yeah, and then I think I saw he worked on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and yes, he was the production designer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So I'm sure these guys are going to do a good job. Uh, the original trio, I wish they were coming back only because I feel like if it's not broken, don't fix it. They had a great thing going with the first Spider-Verse movie, but I know Peter Ramsey's still having a behind-the-scenes role in the sequel. I know Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they're involved to some degree. I guess my nervousness stems from I think about like the Cloudy sequel, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Breath of Fresh Air. Then they changed things up a little bit as far as directors go for the sequel. Didn't quite capture the magic. Same with the Lego Movie. First Lego Movie, so inventive, so fresh, and something we hadn't really seen before. Sequel came along, they changed up the direction, and again it was okay, but it just wasn't quite as good as that first movie. So I'm hoping I've heard that. And I don't think I'm spoiling anything here. I think that everyone assumes what I'm about to say. I've heard that this is just going to be chock full of spider people, including spider men, spider women, just chock full to the brim with different spider people. If you thought the first one, I'm not talking just Spider Ham and Spider Noir and all. I'm thinking this thing's going to be packed, and that does. I don't want to say worry. It's not like I have a stake in this or anything, but I guess as a fan of this series, I do hope that they don't cram too much into this, but we'll find out. So yeah, that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2, whatever they call it, Back into the Spider-Verse, whatever they're going to call it. A little bit of news on that. So last thing I want to talk about, DC. The first news, the Flash logo came out today. And when I saw that, I kind of felt like, okay, Marvel had just unveiled the new Shang-Chi trailer, and then DC. I feel like DC is like, hey, here's don't forget us guys. Here's a logo. And I know some of you DC fans are now ticked off. Listen, hey, Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League is probably my favorite movie this year so far. So don't say, oh, you're just a Marvel fan. No, I like DC as well. But I did think that when they came out with the logo today for the Flash was kind of, they knew the Shang-Chi trailer was coming out today. It was kind of like, hey, we have something too. But anyway, that aside, also was reported that it's been confirmed. It was a little bit on the fence there for a bit, but Michael Keaton will reprise his role as Batman in The Flash. Now, for a little bit, it looked like he might not. There was some talk that there was some concerns related to COVID. And so for a little bit, it looked like he might not return. And then you had the rumors that, oh, okay, well, they're going to try to do Christian Bale's Batman instead then. Uh, Considering, I don't know if they've already started filming, but they're close enough to making this movie. It's kind of like, are you really going to now switch this up? I mean, I don't know how the role is written in this movie, but is it so you can actually delete Michael Keaton's Batman and just copy paste Christian Bale's Batman? The script still makes sense. What's going on here? But Michael Keaton is returning. Again, the hesitation was reportedly over COVID concerns. My source is telling me that it was Keaton also. There were some slight reservations over the how his Batman was going to be utilized in the script. Um, and again, I don't want this to be a rumor mill channel, but I'm just telling you what I try to tell things that I know. And without speculating on details I don't know, I will say that Keaton wanted to read the latest draft of the script before officially signing on because he just wasn't quite sure about certain things, certain ways, again, that his Batman, because his Batman is his legacy in a way. He's done a lot of great roles, done other iconic roles, but Keaton is more than likely going to be remembered for his Batman from as far as his acting roles. And so he wanted to be sure his Batman was treated in a way that did justice to the role, did justice to the legacy of that role, and apparently the script is at a point where he's okay officially signing on, which he has. So it'll be interesting to see that movie. Obviously, I'm excited to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. I who in the world wouldn't be? I personally, so I'm excited to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. Eager for that movie. So much exciting things happening in the world of comic book movies. It's just whether you're a DC fan or a Marvel fan, I'm right there in the middle. I love both. And what an exciting time to be a comic book fan and to be a comic book movie fan. And a lot of big things coming to theaters soon. I'm excited as a lot of you guys are. Let me know what you guys think of the news that was released today. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that Olivia Colman is apparently going to be in Marvel's Secret Invasion TV series. Again, so much big news happening today. Let me know your thoughts on some of this. Are you excited about Batman returning in the Flash? Are you in love with the Shang-Chi trailer? Are you nervous that Spider-Verse might not live up to the first one, or do you think this change of direction is going to be good? Kemp Powers is a fantastic writer, and I don't know how much he directed of Soul, but I love that movie. So there's a lot of promise with him coming on board the Spider-Verse sequel. Let me know your thoughts. Please subscribe to this channel, like the video, tell your friends about it. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description. Thanks so much for watching, guys. It's been Josh with Movies Please. Take care.